Order versus chaos. How do we get the balance? Here's my best effort at trying to find out exactly that in under 10 minutes. For those who are new here, a quick introduction. I'm Declan, a health copywriter and former NHS psychological therapist. The videos around here aim to help both you and I find life balance, particularly for people who either work from home or plan to do so in the foreseeable future. Sound good to you? Cool. So, fellow life wanderer, are you the kind of person who keeps their clothes all neat and segmented and gets bothered if there's one item out of place? Or are you the kind that's happy to have them strewn everywhere, a dirty secret you keep locked behind your bedroom door? Or perhaps you might be like me. People often say I'm organised, but I leave a bundle of clothes on the floor overnight. No way, rebellious, right? At a late hour, my bed looks more warm and inviting than the trip to the laundry basket way across the hall. Some may think, great choice, and some may think, geez, lazy. The basket's only a few steps away. You can tell a lot from a person's bedroom, I think. The overly neat bedroom dweller leans towards order. They plan their day and week out in detail. They're always on time for social occasions, and they know exactly what they're having for dinner tonight. Meanwhile, the overly messy dweller is closer to chaos. They don't like to plan much because it feels suffocating. They're often 10 minutes late for meetups. They regularly cook whatever's left in the fridge, throwing ingredients together as they see fit. As a collective, though, humanity seems to value order more than chaos, or at least respect it to a higher degree. We seek to label and put things in tidy boxes, both physically and mentally. A person without any structure to their life is going to be in bad shape soon enough. Disorder in large portions is unproductive. It's too scattered. But then many people hate the idea of living in order. Doing so would make them feel bored or trapped, hemmed in. They value the freedom of not having a tight schedule and the potential for spontaneity. I consider the super spontaneous people in wonder sometimes, because I can't conceive how they can bear to have so little direction, instead letting life shift them around cities, countryside and whatever else on an apparent whim. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy to do this for like 5 minutes, maybe an hour tops, before my order switch will turn on and my brain starts to blare, warning, warning. Unpredictability is one of my nemesis in life. I hated unpredictability as a child. I still hate it as an adult, even though I know there are benefits to it. Here's an example to consider. If you were forced to stay locked in a room for 24 hours, would you rather have no plan and need to entertain yourself? Or would you prefer to have a set of repetitive, monotonous tasks that you're instructed to complete? I'd hazard to guess that most people would choose the tasks, despite their apparent dullness. And I would too. All of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone. This fine line comes from the 1600s, and the words are just as relevant today, if not more. Turns out that social media and smartphones have only added fuel to this chaos fire. Ding, ding, ding. All day we're robbed of order by our own technologies and tools. The next notification, email or tweet is never far away. The dopamine hits may be fun in the short term, but they're interruptive in the long term, because this way of living also depletes our energy levels. You would think that a state of chaos is more conducive to creativity than order, their much more boring counterpart. But how can we be creative when we're constantly distracted? And I ask you, fellow life wanderer, when are you at your most creative? I find that the most consistent strategy to encourage deep, creative work when I'm writing is to do the following. Decide on a chunk of time, for example 10 a.m. to midday, state in advance in a notebook what creative thing I'll be focusing on, limit as many distractions as possible, such as putting my phone on silent, and then do the thing. It's really that simple. I don't plan every minute because then there's no room for mental tangents, which is how a lot of creative ideas zap into your head from somewhere out there in the unknown universe. But having those chunks of time to be free of distraction is surprisingly fruitful in terms of output. The brain can only concentrate intently for a few hours a day. We are not limitless machines. But I believe that we are meant to use our brains in such a way every day, or at least during most days, rather than going through the motions of scatter-focused tasks. Here's a pretty cool stat. The average knowledge worker is only productive for 2 hours and 53 minutes, and you can check the research, in a standard 8-hour workday. Productive tasks including things like studying, designing, problem solving, writing, and data analysis. Right then, maybe you'll agree with me on this. Ever since I started working, I've thought that the 9 to 5 system is stupider than stupid. Why not incentivize employees to work smarter and faster, rather than keep them cooped up in an office for 8 to 9 hours a day? Get your people in from say 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. every day. There'll be no lunch breaks at the desk, no social media or browsing the news, no meetings unless they're completely unavoidable, just the most important tasks for 4 hours a day, and everyone can leave. That's only 20 hours a week, but I see there being multiple benefits. Firstly, the employer saves money on office maintenance costs such as electricity and internet. And secondly, the employee gets more time for things like social activities to bond with their other team members, spending time with their kids, hanging out with friends and family, reading or other learning-based activities, exercise regimes, meal preparation instead of having no time to cook healthy food, spiritual practice, and sleeping earlier instead of cramming in chores late at night. I could go on. Now, these are just the thoughts of one guy, and a guy who tends to overplan, if anything, but I'm sure those 4 hours less work time each day would repay itself in most instances. The order part gets covered in the 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. slot. The opportunity for chaos part gets covered in the employee's free time after 1 p.m. Super orderly folks can use that time after they leave work for more organized living, and that's fine. They may still want to plan the rest of their day to a T, and the more chaotic leaning folks get to live in a more spontaneous manner during the latter half of the day. Anyway, now I've apparently set the world to rights, I'm trying to let go of order, dear reader. I am. At least a bit. I may be pretty easygoing and mild-mannered on the surface, but I'm really not the go-with-the-flow type. Oh, to be edgy and cool like that. I'd be the worst rock star in the world, let me tell you. There's a strange underlying level of tension and anxiety that bubbles inside when I feel aimless, like I'm merely drifting through life, wasting away this incredible opportunity I have to exist. I'm aware of what a fluke of probability it is that I'm alive here and now, and the world around me already seems to be in so much chaos, according to the media anyway. So why should I invite any more of this crazy chaos stuff into my life on a personal level? Well, because chaos has potential. Humans often don't make the most of this potential. They're at risk of slipping into apathy, or even worse, unstoppable hedonism or violence. But chaos also gives us a chance for self-discovery, connection, emotional development, an opportunity to expand your very consciousness, if you're into that kind of thing. All of the above, as far as I can tell, are at risk of being strangled by too much order. But alas, the pile of clothes remains on the bedroom floor, judging me for not yet putting them away in their correct place. So it's time to tidy up. In honour of life, death, and all the rest, Declan Davey. So, we've established that you probably want life balance. Seems like a logical thing to aim for, doesn't it? You can order the book version of these upcoming videos, which contains 13 different topics and is available on Amazon in Kindle and paperback. If you want to check out more videos on life balance, such as debating the contradictions of success versus sacrifice, strength versus pride, and kindness versus weakness, then you can keep track of the playlist in the top right corner of this video around about now. Over time, I'll be adding more content to this playlist. Feel free to scroll down and check the video description, where you'll find a page with my recommended books for different aspects of life balance. That's financial, mental, physical, social, and spiritual. I'll also include some resources and apps that I think are worth checking out for this whole life balance thing, such as Sounds True, Grammarly, Bear Mattress, Slowly, and Clever Fox's Budget Planner. A heads up, some of these will be affiliate links, so please don't hate me. Don't worry, you won't pay anything extra by using a link, but feel free to search for the resources on Google or wherever else instead. Anyway, that's all from me today. Keep being awesome.